So I have been on YouTube for about a year now, or at least my first video was about a year ago. Right here, dating bios gone wrong. We have right here. If you couldn't tell already, I didn't know how thumbnails worked, and I never really fixed it. But yeah, this was about a year ago, and ever since then, I've been like at least slowly growing. I like 124 at the time of this recording. So tomorrow, technically, like the time of this recording, it'll be my first year on YouTube since I first uploaded a video. And I just kind of wanted to watch this real quick and just kind of reflect on my first year of YouTube. Hello everyone, my name is and just first off, my setup has very much changed. I think I'm a lot more zoomed in here. Also, like the quality isn't great because I didn't realize till much later that like I record this on OBS. I did not know until probably a few months ago that my output in terms of quality wasn't great. So if you ever watch any of my old videos, the quality is not gonna be, it's not good. But yeah, my setup's a lot different now. Back then I only had 2 bookcases, now I got 3. I start using like the blue light now instead of this white light because it's just a lot more appealing. But yeah, just like so much empty space. I'm way too zoomed in. It's FruitySaur and welcome to my channel. Today we are going on to yeah. I do crack my knuckles a lot, but I feel like that's been something that I've been trying to do less since I've been doing this. That and just being like, there's a lot of ums that I do too. I still do, but in my earlier videos I did a lot and I didn't really edit them out, so it's not great. Tinder Reddit and checking out what exactly people are posting on there. Hopefully we get some good old cringe text and bios because they're just so good. They're just so good to look and laugh at because the Lord knows there are a lot of fucking weird people on dating apps. This is something I also remember trying to do when I first started, is I wanted to do like kind of a Cody Co or a Daydream Arcade, which is a channel that I started watching recently. They're really good. I would go check them out if you want to, if you like the Reddit type of stories like this. But this is kind of what I wanted to do a little bit, as well as like covering news and shit like that, doing commentary. This is going like on Tinder, I'm not going on like Reddit, doing like Am I the Asshole or Twitter, like Tinder stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of it, honestly. I feel like, but maybe I just need to work on my commentary regarding it because it's a lot different than this. Like with this, I look up a fair amount of information regarding the stuff that I talk about beforehand. And, well, at least in the last few months, I wasn't the best at it in the past. But now I try to research the stuff beforehand. And with like the Tinder stuff, it just, you're reading it and you have to like base an opinion on it right away. I feel like some of mine are just pretty dull, so I probably need to work on that. But I would like to do stuff like this more often. So you know what? Let's just hop right into it. He's looking for, what is he looking for? All I want is a sweet girl with a fat butt to do fun stuff with. And it's come to my attention that I need to clarify I want to do fun stuff with a girl. Yeah, great clarification there, buddy. Yeah, just weird. Just not much of a response and just going straight to the next one. Same bar, so you can have your own bachelorette moment and see who makes the. I also don't clearly talk with this. Even with a low resolution, at least I can still read it out. You invite all your Bumble matches to the same bar, so you can now have your own bachelorette moment and see who makes it to the end of the night. I don't even think she's actually being truthful here. I think she's just making it up. I kind of doubt that. Yeah. I think she just saw a large group of people and was like, maybe I can pretend that I have a lot more admirers or whatever than I actually do. Someone's a little jaded. Oh, I love these. Fund manager and software engineer, YouTuber, own property and enjoy reading and experimenting. Men and women are incompatible besides just sex, and 99% of you here have no personality or no original thing to say. Bunch of cardboard personalities. Dude, get off Twitter. I mean, get off Tinder. Because, Jesus. Yeah, that would be sure to rack in the ladies. Just talking shit. Just being like, you guys all suck. We're incompatible. You're all just cardboard. Yeah, I bet a girl's gonna get really wet from that. She's just gonna be, just like just unleashing the floodgates. Hey, hi, yeah. This is just like a hi is fine. If anyone is like, if people, yeah, this is still something I kind of share. Like, I feel like, well, mostly because I've seen a bunch of like other Tinder videos and stuff like that. You'll always see people like, if the person who texts them first says hi, sometimes there will be people who freak out being like, just hi, like you should be saying all this, you should be like glamorizing it, shit like that. And I just don't understand that. I don't understand what's wrong with a hi. I would, probably put in something else like, hi, what are you up to? Hi, how's your day? If you can think of something funny and special, that's great, but I there's nothing. I don't think there should be anything wrong with just a hey. You're meeting someone for like the first time, basically. She asked me more about my pet peeves. Number one is rude to service people. I look down on people who treat service industry people less than. Ooh, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, that's big to me. Treating people with respect is everything. What about you? Not that important to me. There will always be someone hurt or inconsiderate. I don't let it impact my day. Most of the times, Twitter are dumb anyways. That's why they had to work. Do not. Jeez. Yeah, just being like, oh, one of my pet peeves are people being rude to service workers. And the other person was just like, yeah, that's a good point. That people shouldn't be rude to service workers, but I will be rude to service workers. Service workers suck. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Way to go. Way to read the room. With my editing, I've gotten a little bit better. There was like that long pause where like I clicked this. It's just weird. She asked me, and then because I didn't read the title, I went back and I should have just cut it. It would have worked better. I don't know. I don't plan on watching all this because that's not really the point that I'm trying to make. Oh, like, my first year on Twitter. Oh, my first year on YouTube. But yeah, this is kind of what I started out with. And then since then, just this is kind of what I would call my experimental phrase, at least like the first few videos. Like here we have kind of my first ever commentary, like truly what I was trying to do. And it was like, Matt Walsh got hacked and stupid Bud Light protest. My thumbnail game didn't get better after the first one. At least I worked out what the dimensions were supposed to be. But I wanted to do like this, bisexual lighting background with two images and captions. It doesn't really work. I ended up just not really liking it. I also wanted to do like this stuff like Pokemon Gen 1 tier list. Probably not gonna do that again. Or maybe I will. I do have a secondary channel, FruitySaur Gaming, which I'm going to do which I'm currently doing like playthroughs through. I'm doing Saints Row the Third. I do plan on making other videos, but it's not gonna be like, a couple every week. It's probably gonna be like once a month, but we'll see. But yeah, we also talked about Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon getting fired. Steven Crowder's divorce, which has come back to a certain point where it's a year-long situation. Yeah, it was just kind of me like figuring out what I really wanted to do. Here we have like my review over Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is still one of my favorite movies. Also like Spider-Man 2 gameplay analysis. As you can see, these videos didn't exactly do well. Most of mine, even now, some of my videos just don't do well. But like, I'm still a growing channel. That's the thing. I talked about this before I started recording. There's these comments here, where this guy brings up my subscriber base. To me, I'm gonna be honest, in especially regards like the content that I do cover, I've gotten some hate comments, like, well, a lot at least. I wouldn't say I got like a lot. I'd say I get a good amount, but it's mostly because of the content that I cover. I don't really care about hate comments that I tend to get here, mostly because like, I don't know. To me, it's just kind of dumb. Like the way that people like kind of assume stuff about people's lives. Like when I talk about like Steven Crowder, and when I talk about like what's been going on with his divorce, or when I talk about his life, I'm not doing that just making shit up. I'm doing that based on information that's been given to us regarding his divorce, regarding his treatment of his workers. Like that's what I base my opinion on, not just, oh, this guy seems like, yeah, not just making up lies about this person, which kind of like makes this a little bit funny. This was this is the same guy. He's saying like, uh, this fruity guy better be sure nothing in this video would be considered defamation by the courts, or else he runs the risk of being sued and losing badly. Everything I said in this video, it gets backed up by information that I talk about of like why Steven, like of Steven doing this stuff. Like, it's not just me making it up. And if he's wrong, I will, and if this whole situation is wrong, I will just say, okay, I got it wrong. Because, but my opinion on the situation comes from actual facts. Like, that's the thing. This just comes from actual evidence. I don't know. People are just really weird about this. Like, I've gotten some fucking weird ass people who comment on my videos. There's one that always makes me laugh, honestly. I think like the only comments that get me mad are just like from people who are just really fucking stupid. That just don't make, like, it's not that it makes me mad that they're like, oh, they're making fun of me. It's not that. That's the thing. I don't care if people make fun of me. I think it's hilarious. But it's comments like this. No one gives a shit about your commentary. Let the video play. If you don't want to watch my video, you don't have to. If you don't want to watch my video, that's fine. Then go watch the actual video that I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just like shit like that. Like, again, hate comments don't really get to me. Like, I just don't really care. To me, it's only when like genuinely dumb people are talking and just say shit that doesn't make any sense like that. Like, just go watch the video if you don't want to hear my commentary. No one's keeping you here. But one really makes me laugh. I really want to find it. But it might have been a while ago. But yeah, like, I've been enjoying my time on YouTube so far. Like, oh, here it is. So this comes from a commenter on my video about the TikTok Senate hearing and Tom McDonald's and Ben Shapiro's rap collab. This dude FruitySaur reminds me of when I worked at Chatline. Almost all the men describe themselves as super hunks and blame shit like COVID for why they don't score. When in actuality, the problem is they live in their parents' basement. He rubs his mom's foot while watching Jeopardy. That's when he's not collecting his dolls, aka figurines. That one always gets a laugh out of me. Again, it just comes down to the fact like people always like assume the weirdest shit about your life online. And it just proves that they oftentimes are just as big as weirdos as they're trying to make you seem. Because like, there is a lot of people who just assume that I live in my parents' basement. I don't. I live in my apartment that I've been living in for years now. But I don't really care to like argue with these people. Like, it's so dumb. The shit that people are just, they feel so confident on like leaving a comment on online. Like, I just don't get it. And I might be also like guilty of that. Like, sometimes I think, but like, I also don't leave comments on a bunch of stuff. Honestly, like, again, when it comes to like, at least the stuff I make videos on, I try to go out of my way to at least like find information regarding it. And not just talking out my ass. Like with the Steven Crowder stuff, I looked up, well, I watched like Tim Pool's video about it, and I did definitely make fun of stuff like that. I did it. Well, actually, I did assume that a lot of those guys were divorced. I was right with one of them, so I think I'm good. I mean, Tim Pool's obviously not divorced because he's never been married, despite the fact that he thinks we should all have traditional values, so he should probably really be focusing on getting married at this point. But, like with the whole Steven Crowder stuff, I say that he's a horrible boss because there are multiple former employees of his out there who have explained situations that are disgusting of him forcing employees to do X, Y, and Z. That's why I say he's a terrible boss. And when I say he's a terrible husband, I'm going based on the Ring camera footage that was shared of him being a manipulator and him being an abuser. Or at least a verbal abuser. Despite the fact that he literally threatens her at one point. Even though it's not on the Ring camera footage, it was inside the house. But whatever, this isn't a video about Steven Crowder. Regardless, it's just, you know, I've been enjoying my time on YouTube so far. I definitely have had problems regarding just making content, feeling very stressed out, just trying, because I do want to grow my platform, and I know in order to do that, I need to have more of like, you know, really work on getting my stuff up, getting my stuff out there, having like a good release schedule, making shit captivating for people. And that can be very stressed out because I don't do this full time. I have a full time job as well as this. And, when you're still very much starting starting out, like I don't like I'm still trying to figure stuff out with this. It can get very stressful when you try to do other stuff with your life. Like at the time of this recording, I'm streaming on Twitch, and I started a lot later than I wanted to because I have a lot of other stuff in my life that's going on that I really need to work through, but I also really want this to do well. So it's just, it definitely causes some problems there, but at the same time, I'm more than willing to work through it because I do want to grow my presence on here. I do want to grow this channel. I would like this to be my full-time job, but until I can get to that point, I have to do my other job, and I have to work through it. But at the same time, I'm still liking what I'm doing. I still like that I don't really ever talk about stuff I don't want to talk about. That's the thing, is that I want to do this because to me it's just so freeing. I would say I've always been a very creative person, at least in the terms of I like being able to work on something. I don't like having even with YouTube, there's still technically a boss because of terms of service, shit like that, what's monetizable, what's not monetizable. But I like this a lot more because it's a lot more creatively filling. I don't really talk about this stuff much outside of this, and that's also a thing. I'm very passionate about a lot of the stuff that I talk about, and this gives me an outlet to do it because I don't really have a lot of people in my life that talk about stuff like this. There's only one guy I know from work who is somewhat familiar with this area, in terms of commentary, shit like that, but he kind of fell off of it because he just didn't really like the whole. He didn't like how it was always just a mess all the time. I'm still that's definitely the case. There's always something fucking. There's never a moment of peace in terms of the areas that I talk about. But I still very much like doing this. It gives me an outlet to do it. That's the thing. If at the same time, I do feel like I did not expect myself to honestly get over 100 subscribers within the first year. Again, it's not much. I'm not gonna try to seem like I'm a big deal because I'm not. Would like to keep growing. Hopefully by next year, I'm at least hoping for 500. That's at least my goal, or at least 3. I don't think 300 is definitely more likely. I feel like, who knows? But again, you never know. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I really do like talking about this stuff, and I hope to keep going. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a similar video to this next year. I would love to do something like that. But this year, again, I really like what I've been doing. I wouldn't say I've had I don't know. My stuff hasn't exactly been blowing up, but at the same time, I'm very comfortable with the numbers I have now. Uh, very comfortable with the numbers I have now comparatively to where I'm at in terms of subscribers and shit like that. But again, I would like to keep growing, keep going. My reception isn't that well, but again, the stuff that I like to talk about, I know it's very controversial, so it's not that I agree with anyone. People who are more fans of the people that I'm talking about are more willing to watch content surrounding them than just a bunch of random people. So they're more willing to watch a video and just hate on the person talking about it than some rando who doesn't actually care about this whole situation. I still do want to do this. Again, I do like doing this. And hopefully next year we at least have over 200. I'm already at almost 125. Right now I'm at 124. So it's not impossible, but we'll see. Again, I don't plan on really stopping this.